Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday, the 24th of October, 2022. And are you prepared for the week ahead? I hope so. Hope you enjoyed your weekend, or it might still be weekend, I suppose, technically, where you are. If you're watching this fairly close to when I post it, since we are ahead of much of the world here in Thailand. It's supposed to be a holiday today. But I have seen people arriving at the office building across the road, so I'm not sure if I'm right or not. There is actually a holiday. I shall have to double check. I know I've got one thing to do today regarding work, which is not related to whether it's a holiday or not. So I shall see, I guess. Right, this is what's happening in the world first. Before I begin the Guardian Sudoku for beginners, begin to begin. I will say what's happening in the news. I recently, conspiracy theorist, that's all I can use to describe him, because if I use the words that I use at home, not only would I be banned from YouTube would probably explode or just disintegrate with the blueness of it all. Alex Jones, he was recently awarded, the jury recently awarded very large damages against him, almost $1 billion, and I thought at the time, two things. First of all, my initial reaction was, oh great, it seems like a fitting punishment, let's hope he's bankrupted. And then immediately afterwards I thought, oh dear, it might not be such a good thing, because I have definitely seen in the past where appeals judges have said these damages are so immense that, they're kind of beyond the scope of what is reasonable. And that's happened many times before, and so I was worried about that, and I see that he has appealed and is asking for a new case, and there's the possibility that it might be granted, because that number was so huge. It could well be granted. If it is and he gets a new trial, let's hope they double it this time and then he won't have grounds to appeal again. Okay, what else is happening? In Britain, the Labour Party is attempting Prawn Cocktail 2.0. That means Keir Starmer is trying to attract businesses, hoping that they will be more favourable to a Labour government. I think it's, I don't know what to say about that. I know it worked for Blair quite well, but then again, was Blair really a Labour Prime Minister in so many ways? I mean, he certainly did some good things, but he also was hardly a socialist, was he? Right, let's get on with the game of Sudoku. So if you've never played Sudoku... Oh, I can hear people shouting outside. Supposed to be a holiday. You never played Sudoku before. What we have here are rows. Each of those rows contain 9 squares. We have columns. Each of the columns contains 9 squares. And we have these small sections outlined, in black or bold, whichever you prefer. And they also contain 9 squares. Your mission, Jim, should you choose to accept it, is to fill in digits 1 to 9 in each of the rows, columns, and small blocks like this. You can see this block already has quite a lot of digits in it. 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8, taking them in order. So we are still looking for 4, 5, 6, and 9 to fill up this this block here. Now, so how do we go about finding it? It's nothing to do with maths, right? It's just a game of logic. So let me think about this column here, and where we have 3, 4, 8, and 5 already placed. And I'm going to ask you, can we find a 2 in this column? Because we need a 2, obviously. We need 1, 2, 6, 7, and 9. The answer is we can find a 2. So how do we know where the 2 exists in this column? Well, first of all, we have this 2 here blocking everything in this block. That means these 4 squares. So in particular, we're concerned about these 2 squares. And then we have a 2 over here. And if we extend that across, because 2 cannot reappear in this row, so 2 is blocked from this square. And let's do the same thing with this 2 in this row down here. Now, what do you notice? You notice blue, 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 like my description of Alex Jones, and a white square down here. So this is the only place where a 2 can go. Obviously, these numbers are already filled in, so this is the only only square that's allowed to have a 2 in it. Got it? Right, now all we need to do is do that many times around the board, and we will be finished. So 8, I'm going to say blocks. I use the term blocks, my term on this channel, which means forbids that number from reappearing. So 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks across here. We've got 5 here and 4 here, 1 empty square here. We know that the 8 has to fit into that square there. Oh, you're really getting the hang of it now, aren't you? Right, can we get a 1 in the bottom row here is the question, and the answer is yes. And that's why I asked it, because we have 1 blocking down here and we have a 1 blocking down here. So this is the only empty square in the bottom row. We know that the 1 must go there. Right, okay. Right, so that's really how we play the game. As I said, you just have to go around many times and come up with the answer. Let's put 4 blocking across here and 4 blocking across here, so we can put a 4 into that square. Then we say 4 blocking up here and 4 blocking up here, and in this top block up here you can see 1 empty square where the 4 must go. Hope this is not too fast if you're an absolute beginner. I don't think it should be. Even if you've never played the game before, I'm sure you can follow along with this. Now we can take this 5 here and extend it all the way to the top. So in this block here, which doesn't yet have a 5, you can check 7, 2, 8, 4, 1, 3, no 5 yet. So the 5 has to go there. Now there are 2 empty squares to complete this block. The missing numbers, the numbers that we don't yet have, are 6 and 9. So we look across and say, is there anything that can help us? And lo and behold, yes, there's a 9 blocking that square. So what do we know? 9 must be here and 6 must be there. Okay. Right. Now, I don't play these games ahead of time, so I've got to look around as well sometimes, not sometimes, every time, and try to see what the next step is, just as you do. I see 9s blocking like this, so I'm going to place a 9 there. I see 9s blocking. Excuse the helicopter. Wow, it's shaking the whole house. Another helicopter too. 2 helicopters. Wow, shaking the house again. Alright, and 9 goes there. Now there's just 1 more 9 to get. We've got 9 here, here, here. Look, 8 different places, and so we can get the final digit 9 like this. It will go there, and that's all of the 9s that are allowed on the board. Obviously we have 1 to 9 in each of these blocks, and so each number can appear 9 times on the grid. Right, now where to go next? Probably something we can do if you're playing the game on a computer. If you're playing it with pen and paper, you can't really do this kind of thing, but if you're playing on a computer, which is good. By the way, I recommend pen and paper for beginners. Definitely the way to begin playing the game. We have 2 like this. You can highlight, I was going to say you can highlight the digits, and so it makes it a bit easier to see, because when you click on 1, it generally highlights. Most of these computer solvers will highlight all of them for you, and so make it a bit easier to see the numbers and where they are. For example, this 2 blocking up here and this 2 blocking across here. Now we can see that the 2 has to fit there like that, and then the 2 blocking across these 2 rows and this 2 blocking down means that the 2 must fit there. We have 2 blocking up here, and across here. That's going to put 2 there, and now we've just got 1 more to get. So again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digit 2s on the board. The 9th digit 2 we are sure to be able to get. We always have enough information to get that. So the 2 goes there. So 2 and 9 are complete. We don't have to worry about 2 and 9. Now, can you find me, since you're a beginner, a 1 in this block here? It's not that difficult. Look at the intersecting ones. What do you see? You see a 1 here blocking across, and you see a 1 here. blocking across there. You saw it, didn't you? Well done. And so a 1 has to fit into that square there. Right, okay, what else is... Oh, 2s are done now. No need to click on 2s anymore. Are there any easy 3s available? Maybe not yet. We'll come back to that later. That's the good thing about Sudoku. You always got to come back to stuff. You leave it, you look, you search, you don't find, you come back again. And then when you've done something, something else will have changed. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, well, this is quite good for a beginner puzzle. Generally, they're much easier than this and don't require any thought whatsoever. This one looks like it's going to need a slight bit of thought anyway, just to, maybe not a great deal, but something at least. Okay, 8 up here, 8 down here. That's where the 8 goes. 8 blocks across here and 8 blocks across here, so that's where the 8 goes. 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks up here, excuse me. And that's where the 8 goes there. And now 8 is also finished, so 2, 8 and 9 are done. Now if you see a couple of empty squares like this, probably a good idea to see what goes in there. Missing numbers are 3 and 4. Actually, we don't have any intersecting 3s or 4s, so we don't really know what goes in there. But that can sometimes help us with what's left. So if that's 3 and 4, we're looking for 5, 6 and 7 in these squares. And actually, no, we can't get those either. Okay, so that was fruitless, and that's what the game is like. Sometimes you look for stuff and you find it very easily, and other times you can spend a long time searching, and that's really what the game's about. But boy, do you feel good after you've been searching for a long time and you find something, especially if it involves some kind of tricky logic or something. Okay, now I said it's always good to look if you've got a couple of empty squares. So there are 2 empty squares in this column, and the missing numbers are 5 and 7. So have a look around, dear beginner, Sudoku friend, and see if you can see where the 5s and the 7s must go. Yes, you got it. Well done. We have 5 blocking here, right? So the 5 goes in that square and the 7 is in that square. Now 7 blocks across here, and therefore the 7 goes here. 7 blocks across here and the 7 goes here. And there's 1 empty square to be filled in this column now, and it will be filled with a 6. That's all we need to complete the series of 1 to 9 in this column, right? Okay, now we also have 6 blocking down here, so this must be a 6, and in this block here the easiest thing to see is 1 is missing, and it's easy to see that because if you're beginning, you probably might be counting through. Now there are various ways to play Sudoku. Some people on this channel in the comments section will advise you not to count through, and that's entirely fine, just depends on your method of playing. But if you're a beginner, you might need to understand the basics first. Right, missing digit here is a 5, and missing digit here is a 6, I believe. I can find it on the keyboard, right. Okay, so now we're making good progress. We should look and see what's missing here. We're missing 1, 3, and 6. Now this is good because what we can see is, okay, 1 and 3 are in the same column. Now if you've never played Sudoku before, it's a good chance to think about logic. So we ask ourselves, can this square be 1? The answer is no. Can this square be 3? And the answer is still no. And there are only 3 options, 1, 3, and 6. So if it's not 1, not 3, it must be 6. Right, you're becoming an expert. Quick. Right quick, you're becoming an expert. There is only 1 digit missing from this column. The missing digit is a 7. We can place that now. There are 2 empty squares in this row, and the missing numbers are 5 and 6. Now we can see a 5 down here, so we know that this can't be 5. That must be 5, and then the 6 will complete this row. Now we made great progress here. There's 1 empty square over here. That's to be filled with a 7. All right, now I want to show you how to play Sudoku when you've got slightly more better skills than the absolute minimum, right? It's like this. We've got 7 blocking across here, right? So what does that leave? That leaves 2 empty squares here and here, where the 7 could go. Blocking here, leaving these 2 squares, right? But let's do something else. So just bear that in mind for the moment. Now we've got 7 blocking across here, and what does it mean over here? It means that 7 is either in this square or this square, right? 7 blocks here, so 7 is here or here. Now let's see, can we find out which is which? No, we really can't. We don't know which is which. But what do we know? If 7 is in this square, it blocks all the way across here, and if 7 is in this square, it still blocks across here. So this cannot be 7, right? And 7 blocks across here, so we know in fact that the 7 must be in that square. And now we're left just 1 empty square across this row, which will be done with a 3 blocks across here. 3 goes there. 3 blocks. What the hell? I think my cat is destroying things in another room. I should go and look in a minute. Let me just finish this game. I'm sure it's nothing urgent. 3 blocks here. That's going to be a 3, and the last number to get here quickly will be a 4. I shouldn't spend too much time on this now because I better go and see what's going on in the other room. 4 goes here. The missing digit here is a 7. 7 blocks up here, so 7 is in this square. The last number to get here is a 5. Where do we have only 1 missing? Surely we've got only 1 missing somewhere. No? Alright, we've got... what do we need? We need 1s. Let's see. 1s, 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 1s. No, can't get those yet. We need 3s. Not sure. We need 4s. Yeah, 4 up here and 4 across here. So that's where the 4 goes. And... what else do we need? We need 5s. Well, we've got 5 blocking across here. So that's where the 5 goes. This would be a 1. And we're looking for a 6 in this row here. 6 blocking up there puts a 6 into that square. The last number to get here is a 3. 3 blocks down here. That's where the 3 goes. And now we're looking for 1 here and 1 there. And that's today's Guardian beginner level game. Hope you understood all of that. If not, just replay it. Go again, practice on some other easy level puzzles. That's it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.